Well. After Dricus did this to Adesanya, I knew his prime was no more. That was precisely the performance Imavov needed for a shot at the title. After Hamzat ran through Robert Whittaker, Imavov needed a statement win to be in this title picture. He needed to send a message. He needed to say, forget about Hamzat, I'm him! And boy did he do that. Knocking out Adesanya early in the second round? After a beautiful eye poke, may I say so myself. Jon Jones must be somewhere admiring that eye poke. I bet he's happy seeing someone use one of his signature techniques. If you watched my last video, you would have known this was gonna happen. Maybe not this early in the fight, but it was bound to happen nonetheless. Imavov literally followed the how to beat Adesanya playbook to the T. He put pressure on Izzy, he boxed, mixed in the wrestling, which is how you beat Adesanya. Again, he did a good job of mixing in some wrestling with his striking, which is exactly what he needed to do, because he doesn't have the boxing defense like Sean Strickland to just walk Adesanya down. Adesanya's glory days may be behind him, but he looked pretty good. What surprised me the most in this fight was how good Izzy's takedown defense was. Imavov was very deep on one of the takedowns, and he couldn't take Adesanya down. The crazy thing is, when they got back up, Adesanya almost got a takedown of his own. Apart from his takedown defense, Adesanya's kicks were by far his best weapons, by far. Those leg kicks were money. And again, that seems to be the hole in Imavov's game. Pretty much every single leg kick landed, like I don't remember a single one being checked. Adesanya was also really looking for the question mark kick in the fight, like he was spamming that kick all fight long, or for as long as the fight lasted. But I'm surprised he didn't go for more body shots. Most body kicks he threw landed, so I'm surprised he didn't throw more. That could have helped him set up one of those question mark kicks he was really looking for. Of course, the weakest part of his offense were his punches, although he did show a decent jab. I remember in the first round he threw a good jab that stood out to me, and in the second round he threw a good body jab, kind of like Pereira, and followed up with one upstairs, snapping Imavov's head back. That was by far his best punch in the fight. But of course, the reason he lost was because of the boxing. His boxing defense fundamentally is just not that good. He tends to use his reach to get away from punches, and this has been a thing his whole career, man. And it wasn't until the first Alex fight that he got exposed for this. In my prediction video, I spoke on the amount of footage there is on Adesanya, and by now, the game plan is well known. Imavov looked very comfortable in the fight, completely sticking to the game plan, using his superior boxing to expose Adesanya's defensive errors, and nothing Adesanya did in the fight seemed to surprise Imavov at all, and I think that's why he was so relaxed in the fight. Imavov really looked to catch Adesanya reaching. I mean, he was looking for that overhand all fight long. You can tell that was something him and his camp were working on all throughout fight camp. And that was pretty much the only punch he would throw in the fight, either to counter Izzy's jab or to punish him whenever he would reach while in the orthodox stance. Just look at how many times he looked for that same shot. In the first round, he struggled with Izzy's reach, and he adjusted by throwing an uppercut instead of an overhand, and landed cleanly on Adesanya, snapping his head back. But then, in the second round, he managed to catch Adesanya while switching stances, and again, Izzy reaches, but this time he can't get away, and Imavov lands a heavy overhand, dropping Adesanya. Afterwards, he followed up with an uppercut that really put Izzy out, and that was pretty much it. I'll be honest though, at first I thought it was an early stoppage, but when someone is in this position, it doesn't matter who you are. That fight's over. One thing I forgot to mention was how well Imavov defended oblique kicks, and then would throw his own. Seems like he might have had some private sessions with Jon Jones. Overall, a great performance though by Imavov, and I think he deserves a title shot. After Hamzat, of course. Or the UFC can make them fight for the #1 contender spot, and the winner gets to fight for the belt. As for Izzy, I think he should retire, or just have fun fights for the fans. He should not be fighting contenders. We also saw MVP take Shara Bullet's O in the co-main event. MVP is just too good of a kickboxer. Shara Bullet, halfway through the second round, was yet to land a single significant strike to the head. That is just ridiculous. MVP might just be the best striker in the UFC, or at least in the welterweight and middleweight divisions. And I would love to see Wonderboy fight MVP. That fight would be an absolute ninja fight. UFC, please, UFC, please, make that happen. Dana, please. Well, Pavlovich and Rosenstrike disappointed. I know they used to be training partners, but come on, bro. Don't just spar, fight, bro. The annoying thing was, Pavlovich would end up on top every single round, and Rosenstrike wouldn't work hard to get back up. It wasn't like Pavlovich was landing crazy ground and pound. That's always a fear I have when two big heavyweights fight. Bro, I'm just still traumatized by Ngannou versus Derek Lewis, bro. We also finally got Nurmagomedov versus Oliveira. Bro, I've been waiting 5 years for this fight, bro. It's been a while. Although, it was the light version, though. Get it? Because it's a lighter weight class. Hence the light. Yeah. I know, it was bad. That was bad. But honestly, though, respect to Vinny Olives. That guy just dogged Saeed with an injured rib. Bro just thugged it out and still won. What a G. Also, can't forget my fight of the night, Fares Ziam versus Mike Davis. That was a crazy fight. Mike Davis's BJJ looked unbelievable. I still cannot believe how Ziam did not tap. That calf slicer was disgusting. But for as good as Davis's jiu-jitsu looked, he needs to work on his striking, man. If he improves his striking, he'll be a dangerous fighter. But all props though to Ziam. He looked good himself, and he seems ready for a top 15 opponent. And that's it, guys. What did you think of the card? Personally, I think it was kind of mid. I'd give it, I'd say 520 Ferguson's out of 10. The crowd also kind of sucked. They were kind of boring. They weren't loud at all. Booing sometimes. They just sucked in general. I'd give them a solid 3 Tony Ferguson's out of 10. Anyways, that's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good one, and don't be a casual.